Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. What's happening? What's happening, everybody? All right. So to the LYMG fam, what's going on? Type something in the chat. Let me know you're here. All you have to do, is log in. So it's not like the Zoom where you need the password or anything. You go to just click the link and log in the community up. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Malcolm, Denzel, Tanya, what's happening? Let's get it. All you have to do is click the link and we're live. All right. Good evening. Good evening. What's going on, Kareem? What's happening? What's happening? Nothing changed. Just the address, just the location, y'all. So we're going to do these live because we know usually we get people asking for the recordings, and it's going to help save a lot of space on Zoom, too. So y'all know how we do. I'm going to give it another 2 minutes. 7:05. We getting ready. All right. Looking forward to a great week. All right, 60 seconds. What's going on, bro? What's happening? All right, we'll just do this with our mindset meetings. Our team meetings will be in Zoom like normal. Our funded fam meetings will be in Zoom like normal. Everything we talk strategy will be in Zoom. But for mindset, we're gonna do this live. See how it goes. All right. So now I want to share screen. Okay, let's look at this right here. Okay. All right, we good. We got everybody here. Good. All right, good evening. We are here. All right. Let's go to share. So this week right here, go to our trading view. All right. The theme for this week, I wrote this down. I did not want to forget it. All right, so salute to everybody. Salute to the team. Look at here. Our theme for this week, and please write this down. When you write it down, drop a 1 in the chat. Try, fail, analyze, adjust. Try, fail, analyze, and adjust. So I was doing some research this week, and did you know that YouTube actually started as a dating app, right? YouTube actually started as a freaking dating app. So I did not know that. We now know YouTube as one of the, if not the biggest place to watch videos in the world. It's one of the biggest communities in the world. But it originally started off as a dating app. Why is that important? Because when you start something, I believe there's a misnomer. There's a misnomer that you're supposed to start something and then have instant success. And if you don't have instant success, then it's not for you. Some people get so caught up in that thought process that they even start bringing their religion into it. They even start saying that, hey, this must be a sign from God. This must be a sign that I'm not supposed to be doing this. I'm not supposed to be doing that because it's not happening or it's not working for me, right? And it could be further from truth. So I started doing some new research today on something that I'm interested in that I'm looking to make money from and monetize. Now, notice the 2 things that I'm talking about. Number 1, there's a genuine interest. And what I mean by interest in is it's not so much of a passion per se. I just understand how it can help me in my life and to help me create the life that I want going forward. So I'm going to do my due diligence and actually research and become a student of this thing before I just hop in thinking I can make money. And so as I'm reading this book from somebody who has immense success in that field, they said this right here. If you can't, this person is a dang near billionaire now, right? They said if you can't take making a 100 of the same mistakes and doing that for a year and beyond, if you can't just understand the fact that once you first start something, you're going to be trash at it. Once you start trading, you're going to be trash. You're going to be terrible. You're going to be bad. Once you start painting, once you start walking as a human, as a kid, you're going to be bad. You're going to be horrible. You're going to be terrible at it. And you're going to be bad at it for the first year. You're not going to start getting better until that second year. And then 3, 4, 5, that's when you go ahead and actually you start thriving. But they said if you can't take messing up 100 times, putting up great effort, 100% effort and messing up 100 times and doing that for at least a year, then don't even bother starting anything. And that's how the book opened up. That was the first line in the book. And it made me think and go, wow. The first thing they talk about before what you can get from something is the commitment that you have to have in order to be successful in that thing. So you got to know, I'm going to start off bad. I'm going to start off not knowing. And it trips me out how often, especially in something like investing, we live in a world where money is exchanged, money is used on the daily. Like, you don't have to love money, but you have to have an understanding that this is the source, this is the gasoline of our economy. This is what's happening. This is what makes things go. It's money. I don't have to love it. I don't need to worship it. I don't need to do anything like that. But I have to have an understanding of its place and its value in the society. So with that being said, I need to know how to use it. I need to know how to work it. So it's funny that people will get into trading. If it doesn't work out for the first month, the first 2 months, they're like, you know what, I'm done. What are you done with? Because you're not done with spending money. You're not done with making money, and you're not done with living in a society where money is going to be a major force, right? So now we have a lot of members who have made some money. We have members who have been funded, but we have members who are in this crucial phase right here. And no matter where you are, if you got several $1,000 paychecks or if you're on demo, you have to be willing to try, fail, analyze, and adjust. All right. So we want to get very tactical with that. All right. So when we try something, cool. Now I expect failure. If I don't get failure fresh out the gate, then that's a plus. But I'm expecting to fail because I don't think I'm going to be good at something starting off. So what that allows you to do when you just make that simple pivot in your brain, what that allows you to do is not put so much pressure on yourself to succeed right off the bat. Right. And you take the emotions out of it because now you've actually put failure in your recipe for success. That's the thing. When people don't put failure in their recipe for success, they do what? They get surprised when it happens. And then when you get surprised when it happens and you didn't emotionally prepare for it, now you get discouraged. But it's something dope. Like, you're going to be you're going to be a successful investor. It's just going to take time to get it right. When you have that mindset, it's like, man, I know I'm going to live a life where I make nothing less than 10 grand a month. Because at some point I'm gonna get it right. Right? Like when I first started off trading, I ain't gonna lie. I came out the gate gangbusters. I was making $50, then $100 a day, then 200, then 300, then went to 400. And I often tell the story. The first time I had my first $1,000 day, I dang near hyperventilated and passed out. I was shaking. I couldn't close the trades fast enough. Right? Then now that turned to, all right, let's go for $10,000 a day. You know what $1,000 a day looks like. You've done that a few times. You've done that several times now. But let's pull a zero over. Then let's go to what? 100,000, so on and so forth. But there was a point in which I realized, like, hey, I'm gonna have to fail. And when I failed big time, and I failed all alone. I didn't have a team around me to help me out. I actually was asking questions with the team that I was with, and nobody knew the answers. That's what made me go, okay, I need to research this thing more. So now we're here at LYMG, and you have that team, you have that family, just like Kareem did. Shout out to Kareem. We had a trash couple of trades in a row. He went back, found some research. The next week we come back, we go undefeated. That's not that's not a coincidence. That's not a coincidence. But I understand. I know that he understands trying, failing, analyze, and adjust. So what I challenge everybody to do this week is look at the places within the past. If you haven't gotten funded yet, look and go, okay, here is how we analyze and adjust. Because we understand try and fail. What are the trades that I got into that were big winners, but I stayed in them too long and I watched winners turn to losers, right? If we're thinking from a brand perspective, if we're thinking from a CEO, a money perspective, right? Where did you watch money go from up to down? Look at how many of those trades. And I know that you can recall the trades that actually did that. I know you can recall the trades that actually did that because we've all been there. And that's a horrible feeling. That's a horrible feeling when you're watching. How many people know that feeling? You watch a trade go from a big winner to a loser, right? So one rule that we can go and start with, and this is something that we'll do as a team. I have a rule that I'll share. It's a personal rule, but if I'm 51% in profit, meaning if we go ahead and we let's say we do a trade where our take profit is 40 pips. If I'm 21 pips or higher in profit, I'm taking some type of partial profit. I'm leaving there with something. And then after that, I'm also going to put change my stop loss to break even. So make sure you write that down. Change your stop loss to break even, and I'll announce it. So anytime we're up 20, 30 pips, hey, y'all, we're up over the halfway point. You could take partial profit here and change your stop loss to break even, right? Now, number one, that's going to cut out probably 30%, 30% of those trades that you lost because now your winners aren't turning into losers. Your winners are staying winners and you're leaving there with something. And when you just get that muscle memory right, you start doing that on your 20,000 account, you carry that into your 100,000, your 200,000 and higher account. Those partial profits are going to become thousands of dollars. They're going to start off as hundreds of dollars, but then they'll become thousands of dollars. All right. So always make sure that we're doing that. Also, another thing is look and see how many trades just went the wrong way, period. I actually took a look at that recently, and I'll probably say out of these past 3 weeks, the week prior to last, we went undefeated. But out of these past 3 weeks, we probably had 2 to 3 trades that just went the wrong way altogether, right? Now that's different. That's something where, okay, I take full accountability on that. And now that means we just got the trade set up wrong, right? So another thing that we want to do, we'll go into trading view and look at this. We want to see when we catch a good trade setup, how much percentage can we get off of one trade setup? Because we know it's going to take the charts a while for us to give us a good trade setup, especially if we're trading on higher time frames. But higher time frames, stronger confirmation. All right. So, like for instance, we went for anybody who hasn't looked at the one-on-one with Brian, it was excellent because this is what we talked about. We talked about like, hey, on one trade setup, instead of me just getting 1%, 1.5%, when I see the chart setting up for the long-term move, am I able to go in and get 1% on this move, 1.5% on another move, 2% over here? I got a scalp worth 0.75%. That's the level of communication that I would like for us to see. And I know we're all over the world and we operate on different time zones, but that even plays to our advantage because now while Dex is at work, Kareem is training, Dion might be on the charts. I might be on the charts and we might have a long trade FRC board set up and we're good for the buy. We're already in a long-term move for the buy and we go, hey, I see a move over here on the 5-minute, but we can actually get in and scalp and get a quick 0.5%. See what I'm saying? Or either we can scalp and get a quick percent. Now that 1.5% actually goes up to what? Now we get 2.5%. Instead of just sitting in one trade for hours and days, we can get 2.5%. But in order to do that, we need to be able to communicate and create. We have to be willing to communicate and create. I love the amount of questions that we've been getting. But one thing, one thing that I want to see more of is the creative questions. Like start asking those tailor-made questions that lets us know I'm trying to fit this into my life. Those tailor-made questions might be, okay, what me and Trey had this conversation early on. Okay, I'm working and I'm teaching throughout the day. So at night, what charts do I need to be looking at? You know, he messed around and fell in love with UJ. So he got right with UJ. And then we said AU, right? But that's a creative question because now you're seeing how can I tailor this into my life? How can I make it for me? And when you start asking questions on that level, you're going to start seeing not only your understanding go up, but your results go up. Your results are going to go way, way, way up. So now let's check this out. Let's see something here. I wanted to know in the comments, can you type what phase you're on? If you're on demo, type 0. If you're on phase 1, type a 1. If you're on phase 2, type a 2. If you're funded, type 3. If you're funded on any account, type 3, even if you're currently working on another one. So if you're in a demo account, 0. If you're on phase 1, 1. Phase 2, 2. Funded, type 3. So I want to see where everybody is. Because I want to start giving some mindset tips and tricks for where you are on the funded as well. That's super important. All right, let's see. All right. All right. So now, okay, we got some funded. We got a little bit all over, we got a little bit everywhere. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Now, here's the key. When you're up 5% or more on phase 1, don't risk more than you have to gain. You only need 8% to pass. All right. So you have 5%. You only need to get to 8%. You're 3% away. Don't find yourself in trades where you're risking more than 3%. That's a key right there. When you're on phase 2, it is not about how quick I can pass phase 2, because you got to think, okay, cool. Do I want to pass the test or do I want to be excellent at my new job? Right? Do I want to just pass my driver's test or do I not want to get in an accident when I drive? Think about that. That's a mindset switch in its own. That's a mindset switch in its own. Because if I just get excited about passing driver's test, and I trade just to pass the test, I'm never going to make money in real life, because now you might do something crazy to pass, like over leverage, right? And that might work for you in terms of passing. But then you go ahead and try that move. And every time you try that move, let's say it helps you the first time, helps you the second time, the third time you get bit by it. By the time you get bit by it on that third time, you're going to have lost all the trades that you gained on 1 and 2 wins. All right. So we want to trade the right way. When you're on phase 2, do not just try to hurry up and get past it. You want to trade the right way so that when you go live, now your account is sustainable. You want to take it from I'm funded and I got this. You want to take it from I'm funded and I passed this test to how many payouts am I getting? How many payouts am I able to get? And am I able to sustain this? When you sustain it, trust me, it's going to become a lifestyle. And then you're going to feel more confident and turning in that letter of resignation and going, okay, I'm good now. Because look, and then we also understand we don't need to trade all day, every day. That's another thing. Type a 1 in the chat if you find yourself doing this. If you got to move, if you won, right? And then you go back in the market after you won because you're like, I feel like the market can keep going from here. Type a 1 in the chat if you've ever done that. If you won and got right back in the market, got right back in the trade because you feel like, Oh yeah. I can keep going. The market's going to keep going. We don't want to do that either because what? In reality, time, Time. That's what we're doing all of this trading and this learning for. It's to free up time. It's to free up time. So without, and this is going to be so great. So from here on out, when you win a trade, look at the time. Look at the time on the clock and go, man, I just met my quota at, sometimes it might be 9, sometimes it might be 10, sometimes it might be 8:30 in the morning, sometimes it might be 7:30 in the morning. Most days you'll be able to meet your quota before noon, right? When we're trading in the European session and we're trading in the US session. That means that start preparing yourself for the life that you want to live, because now, guess what? You have the rest of the day to yourself. Start moving like that instead of moving with a sense of like, oh, I gotta make this happen, I gotta make this happen, I gotta make this happen. No, you do not want to do that. You do not want to do that. So guess what? If you want to trade by 11, chill, kick it, go back, wait until the AU session at night when AU is the quarterback, and then we get back on it. That's another thing. Because from here, it's all about sustainability. All about sustainability. We got the try part. We have the fail part. Now we analyze. So that is something that I can't do for everybody in the group because I don't know the trades that you're taking outside of what we do. But analyze the trades and see, where did I go right? Where did I go wrong? Where did I leave a trade in too long? Where did a winner become a loser? Number one. Then number two, where did I just get the trade set up totally wrong? And then adjust. Okay. So now, for a lot of you, the thing that you're going to have to look to adjust is not going to be, it might be a little bit of strategy, but it's going to be implementing this into my life so that I have time to pay attention. What I want to do is be a resource to you, right? I always say, do not hire me as your new boss, right? We got to go from employee mindset to investor mindset. Think of it as I work for you, I perform a service for you. So when my analysis shows me this, I'm going to send that to you, but then you need to have the time to be like, okay, I like what I see and I see why he's sending this and I'm with it, right? I'm like, think of it like this, for your mindset, for your mindset's sake, think of it like this. I'm working for you, I'm presenting something to you because you are the CEO of your free time, you are the CEO of your bank account, right? Because when somebody else goes and starts using money out of your bank account, they call that fraud, they call that illegal. That's actually a crime. So you have to be the CEO of your account. Think of it like, I work for you, I don't care, I don't, but start phrasing that, phrasing it like that in your mind. Look at the clear port every signal as, okay, yeah, I see why we do that. Okay, and I feel confident in why we're doing that. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take this. I'm gonna go ahead and take this trade, right? I'm going to go ahead and take this trade. Now we have a good winning percentage, but when you have that mindset flip right there, you're going to start seeing a lot more success. You're going to start seeing so much more success because now we have confluence with the group, and every time we talk and we communicate and we all feel confident on it, we win. We win. So it's just that simple. This week I have a challenge from here going on, from here for the rest of time, and especially this year right here. I want us to win at least 80% of our trades, to go 4 out of 5 every week. That's the challenge. Now, I'm making this public and I'm saying it to the team so that we can all embrace that, so that we can all embrace it, so that we can all communicate. We can all make it happen because as we win 4 out of 5, everybody's funded, everybody's getting paid. And I want that one loss. I want that one loss to be equal. I want it to be just like a win would be, or even smaller. I want that one loss to be equal or smaller than all of our wins. All right, equal or smaller. I don't want to have a 1% win, a 1.5% win, another 1.5% win, a 2% win, and then a 7% loss. You know what I'm saying? We also got to know how to lose properly and lose carefully. Because trust me, you do not want a strategy where you need a 100% win. I've seen that. I've seen people have 88% win percentage and still not get funded because that one loss took them out the game because they over leveraged. So now you over leverage. Let's think about the psyche and the mindset that goes behind it. How many people have type of 7 in the chat if you've done either one of these things? You over leverage because you feel like time was against you, or you over leverage because you thought about the bills that were due. Type of 7 in the chat if you've ever been there. You just over leverage because you feel like time was against you and bills were due, and I gotta hurry up to get funded because this is due next month. My wife is da 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 da. She's not happy at our job. We gotta move. We got this. We got that going on. You've allowed real life to now penetrate your mind, distract you, take you away from strategy, and now throw you off your game, right? I'm gonna tell you what that's like. I'm glad we have video. I'm glad we have video right here, right? Now, you think that you're doing the right thing. Some part of your brain thinks that you're doing the right thing. Otherwise, you wouldn't follow through with that decision. I've seen this right here. I've seen trades where we went 0.5%. I had somebody this weekend tell me, "Yeah, man, they said they accidentally. I know it wasn't an accident though. I over leveraged on a trade, and I lost. They lost like 2 or 3%, and we went 0.5% on that. So I always tell people, like, if we are ever going half a percent on something, it's because the setup is there, but we not about to bet the house on it. So we gonna get something. We gonna win. It's like, okay, I'm gonna give you some money. It's like that family member that don't ever pay back. It's like, I'm gonna give you some money, but the money that I'm loaning you, I'm not expecting it. I'm not expecting it back. If you give it back, good. So with that family member, think about it. We're not saying we're taking a trade that we know we're going to lose. What we're saying is with that family member, you already have a number in mind because you know they don't pay back debt. So you already have a limit to how much you're not going to give. And you have a limit to how much you are going to help. So if that person need $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, you're like, I know I'm never gonna get that back. But if I give them 5, if I give them 10, if I give them 20, it's the same way on certain trades. When you only see us going 0.5%, it's like, yeah, this is a good setup, but the market is volatile or something's going on right now. So if we win this trade, great. We only go risk half a percentage though. But I saw somebody quadruple that, no, quintuple that. They lost 2.5% because they were thinking about real life. And they allowed real life to frustrate them. So guess what happened? They got undisciplined. They got off the strategy. They stopped doing what had been working the whole time. And that's what happens a lot of time. You cannot let real life come in and distract you because here you are, right? Y'all know I got a little baby daughter. Here's you right here. Best of intentions, purest intentions. You move and everything is good. Baby shark do. But then you have that real life, that thought comes in your mind or that pressure coming up. Bam. And what it does is it penetrates your brain. Bow. And it hurts. Bam, 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 bam. It hurts. So now baby shark was over here just dancing, but every time that thought comes in, bat, 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 it gets a little harder to dance. It gets a little harder to focus. So now what you need to do is frame, when is this trading thing actually going to pay off for me? Guess what? Before you start trading, rent was always due every month. Rent's been due every month, and you've been finding a way to get it paid. See, you've been finding a way to get it paid. I wish I had somebody when I first started that told me the real and wasn't just trying to sell me lifestyle, fire your boss, this, that, and the third. I wish I had somebody that told me how to leverage my job to help me until I get my trading right. What we want to do with our trading is I want you to think about how life is going to look a year from now, right? Start from there. Now, what that's going to allow you to do is, I'm not trying to suspend your success or anything like that. But when you start thinking from a year on out, that's going to allow you to just focus on getting the strategy right. That's like being in the gym and just constantly working on your follow through, constantly working on your follow through, constantly working on your follow through. Forget the custodian cleaning over there. Forget the girls looking at you on the sideline. Forget the fans booing or whatever, but you're constantly working on your follow through. As a result, more jump shots are going to go in. All right. So when you're thinking about trading, how is my life going to look a year from now? Now, that one trade isn't going to determine how your life is going to look for a year from now. When you think about it that way, so why would I over leverage? See that? Why would I take a trade that if it doesn't go my way, the loss is going to hurt me? I'm not going to be able to go to sleep good. I'm not going to be able to rest good. I can't, if you can't go to sleep and rest good with a trade in, you're over leveraging. So that's a very simple yet super duper important mindset switch right there. How is trading going to impact my life a year from now? And then we want to put in such work and we want to be so diligent that that one year changes the trajectory of my next 10 years. So when you put in 2 years of work, those 2 years of work that I put in change the trajectory of my life for the next 20 years. Those 3 years of work that I put in change the trajectory of my life for the next 30 years. So guess what? Those 5 years of work, those 10 years of work have changed the next 50 to 100 years of your life. And that's when the wealth becomes generational. That's when it becomes generational. Think about it. Think about it. So don't go into any trade this week feeling like, man, in November, this is happening and such. Oh, I got to get funded because I got to get this, that, and the third. You're going to have more success quicker and sooner if you allow yourself to do what? Be patient and stick to the fundamentals. But you need the mind frame to know why stick to the fundamentals. So that's what we're doing. Because if I just give you fundamentals and not tell you, if I just tell you what to do, but you don't realize how it works for you, you're going to try to do the opposite things because you think it's the right thing to do. So when you actually look at trading is how it's going to impact my life a year from now, it's going to stop you from over leveraging on that trade tomorrow. Right? And when you stop over leveraging on that trade tomorrow, now you never have another daily breach. Now you never blow another personal account. Now you get funded and you get paid out. And you consistently get funded and you consistently get paid out. So now, just because you made that switch, don't think about the bills due tomorrow. Because guess what? They're gonna be due next month too. And the month after that. Don't think about the electricity. Don't think about that trip that your girl want to take and you trying your hardest. She like, man, she been by my side. I want to give her the world. I want to do all that, this, that, and the third. Think about the trips you want to take next year, next summer, right? And then if you're able to suspend just in your mind, if you're able to program yourself for delayed gratification, you start doing that in other areas of your life. Your fitness starts to get better, your health starts to get better, your mental health starts to get better, your spiritual health starts to get better because now you understand the value of delayed gratification. So a lot of times I'm telling y'all, and you do this because guess what? When you start seeing how your habits impact your wallet, you switch them a lot quicker. You change them a lot quicker. It's probably things you've been doing for years. Probably some people on here where you've been impulsive or you have a temper tantrum or you've been too cool. You've been too cool for school with no sense of urgency. When you start seeing it affect your bottom line, affect your wallet, now you have a sense of urgency like, whoa, I got to get that together. I never realized how much that was costing me before, but now I see. Type of one in the chat if that's happened to anybody. Like for me, I used to be very like I'm a goer, I'm a doer, I go. Like I'll be on I'm on go mode 24/7, right? So I'm the type of person where hey, make a decision. I'm really try, fail, analyze, adjust in real life. Let's make the decision, let's fail at it, and then let's adjust. So I learned in trading, I was never scared of the losing part in trading. What got me was when I over leveraged and lost. I actually felt great when I would take what I call a good loss. Oh, that's just 0.5%. That's just 1%. But the same things that make me that person that's going to take that leap of faith, I got to understand the downside of what comes with that as well. The downside that comes with a person who's a leaper, being a leaper, is that all the time you ain't gonna land on your feet. All the time you're not going to land on your feet. But guess what? What risk management comes in is, am I taking that leap off the steps, off the porch, or am I taking that leap off a 100-story building when I could have just walked down the stairs and walked out the front door? So for a lot of you, if you find yourself struggling with over leverage, is number one, you're bringing real life, you're bringing real time to the charts. You're bringing real life and real time to the charts. So now you allow those things to cloud your mind. you allow them to cloud your judgment. And it throws you off and you don't have as much success. Why? We just talked about it. Life is real. Spouses are real. Things they want is real. Pressure is real. However, once you decide, hey, once you build that shelter, because now you have the mindset to go, I'm doing this for a year from now. That don't mean it's gonna take you a year to get paid from it. But if you have the mindset and shelter, I'm doing this from a year from now. When that thought comes and tries to throw you off, when that real life pressure comes in, when your lady, this, that, and the third, now you're protected. Bam, bam. It bounces off. It bounces off. Now you do not over leverage. Now you don't trip. Now you understand, hey, if I need to take a break, let me just do some demo trading, right? Then you know when you need to turn it up. So that's what we want to see. From here on out, my personal challenge and our team, a challenge I'm issuing out to the team. And type a 2 in the chat if you with me on this one. All right. Type a 2 in the chat if you with me on this one. I'm issuing this challenge out to the team. Everybody who's on this call get funded on the 20 and 100K and 100K account and get paid out from both. That's the challenge that I'm putting out here for us, for all of us. If I could go, hey, I'm funded. I'm good. I already know what that's like. my dad used to always say, I know it's like to get there. Y'all trying to get there. And then he'd just, so basically, like when we weren't listening, he would just be like, I already know it's like to get there. You trying to get there. Already been. But what I'm saying is we're not going to take that approach. We're going to do this as a family. And in order to do it as a family, we have to communicate. Like I said, I always tell y'all, let's partner, let's collaborate. I'm not trying to be your boss. Because for you to be dealing with $100,000 accounts and higher, you have to be good at decision making. So if I just take all of the decision making off of you, I'm handicapping you because you're going to have access to more money, but now you're not going to have the knowledge, the wisdom, and the decision making component to go along with that. And we don't want that. We want you to be able to make wise decisions. So this year, challenge, we're about to be in July. Get funded on the 20. Some of you are on the 50 right now, but get funded on the 20K and or 50K and get funded on the 100K. That's the challenge. We have 6 full months to do it. July, August, September, October, November, December. So I challenge everybody to let's talk more than before. Let's communicate more than before. We talked about it before. Out of the 4 ways to add value to any team, the 2 greatest ways to add value is through communication and creation. So let's create new levels of communication, all right? Let's think about it. We already created the strategies. We've already created the ways to communicate with one another in terms of one-on-ones or in terms of the group chats, so on. So we have ways to communicate, right? Now let's help each other. Let's help. Ask more questions than ever. Because I'm telling y'all, when you think about the risk to reward, think about it. Think about it. Seriously. I want you to think about it. If I get this thing right, let's say it takes me a year. Let's say it takes me 18 months to get this trading thing right. The rest of my life changes. The things I have access to changes. My tax bracket changes. My wardrobe changes. My cologne changes. My neighborhood changes. If I don't, I'm going to be living the same life that I'm living right now. And some of you might think, okay, that's cool. But there are some of you who know you want more. And it's okay. Somebody has to be unapologetic and tell you that it's okay to want more. It does not make you greedy. It does not make you money hungry. It does not make you the devil because you want more. Especially if you want more and you're willing to do the work and you're leading with information. Now, if you just want more money, but you want to stay stupid, then you're a dum-dum because you're not going to have the wisdom to know how to deal with your enlarged territory and it's going to be taken from you, right? So that's for anything. If you go into anything, become a student of that thing. Allow yourself to become a student of not just trading, not just LYMG, but of financial literacy. And then guess what? As you get more literate, now, just like in school, we go up a grade level, right? So we go up a grade level. So now, okay, I know how to read charts. I know how to trade. Now we know how to do what? listen to the testimonies when the Fed chair speaks, when Jerome Powell is speaking, when President Lagarde is speaking of the Euro Central Bank. We actually know how to do those things now because now you're a student of financial literacy. You know what a hawkish statement is. You know what a dovish statement is. You know those things. So lead with the information and whatever it is that you want to do, become a student, get the information. So if let's just say there are 10 articles, look, there are 10 people on here right now, and it's over 80 something in the group, right? It's 80 something in our signals chat. Let's say that there are 10 articles. Here's the power of I versus we, me versus we. There are 10 articles. Let's just say I try to read all 10. It's going to take me longer to read all 10. But let's say that there are 10 other people in here with me, right? Or 9 other people here with me. And number one, we've communicated that there are 10 articles to read. That's the first piece of adding value. And then you took it even further. You created the time to read one article, right? And then we went even further and say, hey, now let's create a strategy. Watch how creation and communication works. Now, you read this article, you read that article, you read that article, you read that article, you read that article. We get all 10 articles covered. And then we're going to come back and give each other the notes, the cliff notes. So now it's just like each of us read the 10 articles ourselves. But had we tried to do it on our own, it would take us at least 10x more time to do so. That's the power of teamwork. That's the power of doing things together. That's the power. Me is always going to lose to we 10 times out of 10. But if we work together, that's the power. So now if we all want to get funded and we all have a vested interest in getting funded, guess what? I've created time to go ahead and look up this. I created time to go ahead and check out EU, see how it's moving. Somebody else created time to go and check out AU. Somebody else created time to see that Bank of Canada had an interest rate decision and USD CAD might give us some good movement today because they have a vested interest in getting funded and we're a team. Now it's like all of us have done those things together. So that's the power of communication. And guess what? Let's always weigh our risk versus the reward. What's the risk of me communicating? What's the reward? $100,000. $100,000 is reward. Becoming a six-figure investor and above is the reward. What is the risk of communicating? Oh, I don't want to sound stupid. Listen to the words. What sentence do they start with? I don't want to sound stupid. I don't want to feel like, man, I should know this already because he say this all the time and da-da-da. I didn't want to seem like I didn't want to embarrassment, feelings, shame, all personal things. All feelings and personal. Feelings and personal. And how often do people let feelings and personal get in the way of finances and success? We do not have to do that. We are not going to do that. And we aren't going to design a life around that. So if you put all of those things aside, the embarrassment, because we always tell you this is a safe haven. You need to feel comfortable talking. Go ahead and communicate because I guarantee you have that question. You're not the only one with that question. So now, what are the risks to rewards? When you feel self-conscious and you don't want to ask that question, or you feel like you're too busy at work and you don't want to ask that question, they're already showing you that the hand that they have for you. Your job is already showing you the hand that they have, right? Your boss is already showing you the role that you're going to play. Are you cool with that? Or do you want more? So it's literally that serious. Like I be this sense of urgency with the decision making because it's that serious. And you got to take it that serious too. You can't just be lax about it. Well, I got this question, but I'm going to go ahead and finish stapling. And then you go ahead and finish stapling. And then guess what? They paid you your $18 an hour. Oh, you big dog, your 25 hour. Oh, you Superman, your 50 hour. Oh, you really getting paid, your 100 hour. Oh, no, you really nice with it. You cold, your 150 hour. Meanwhile, one trade will make you 1,500. One trade on the 1.5% on the 1.5% on a 100K account I'll make you 1,500. So you got to be real with yourself and start thinking of risk to rewards. And you got to start thinking every decision that you make is going to have something that comes with it after that. So make quality decisions. Make quality decisions when it comes to communicating and create the time to communicate because you're seeing the hand that life has dealt you. You're seeing that. And all of us here have one thing in common. We all want more. If we didn't want more, we wouldn't be here. We got to stop looking. We got to stop looking at this glass right here. This is, I don't know what this is, y'all. But just look at how much is in here, right? This is some old stuff. It was probably one of the more healthy drinks I was drinking. I look crazy. But we got to stop looking at the glass that looks like this and want it to feel full. Sometimes the glass just has this amount in it. But guess what? You have the ability to communicate and create. So you can actually pour more in here. But you have to come to the realization that ain't much in there. And the moment that I realized ain't much in there, I stopped putting everything into this. For some of you, this is work. This is how much they pay you, but this is how much you want your lifestyle to be. This is how much they give you, but this is where you want to provide for your kids and your family. This is how much you have, right, in terms of resources, but here's the level that you want to give to the community, to all of that. You see people who you want to help. You know a young man, you know a young woman who's out there doing their thing and who would be perfect. Like, I just want to give them if I could just put them on my team, their job doesn't value them like that. If I could just, I know that feeling. I remember going to Target and I saw this man, the most eloquent, well-spoken brother, talking his team off the cliff. It was a lady who was pissed off at a customer and the way he was just taking her through it and see, here's why you don't do this, here's why you don't do it, here's like the way you handled that was so great, this, that, and the third, yada, yada, yada. And he was just going in. And you know what I knew? Target's giving this man this, but the value that he's providing is up here. Dang. And I thought to myself, and this made me go harder. I thought to myself, I'm gonna remember this store, and I want to be able to come back and just offer that brother like a leadership position. I want to offer him a leadership position in my organization. You know why? Because all of that, guess what? He's still making the same amount as the person who came to work high, who came to work drunk, who came to work unfocused, who came to work with a hangover. He's still making the same amount as them. All of that extra that he's putting into these people and putting into that person, he didn't get a raise for that. He didn't get paid commission off of that, right? And that made me look like, see, that's the type of people that we need. And like, I ain't go front. I allowed myself, I gave myself permission at that moment to be pissed and think, dang, I ain't even got it right now to where I could offer him double, triple, quadruple what he's making. So I took that personally. And then I had to go back to the drawing board and create and communicate, create strategies. Some of you are just getting pissed on and you looking at the weather channel to see if it's raining outside. It's piss. It's piss. And it's unapologetically coming out the sky. But you have to allow yourself to get frustrated. You have to allow yourself to be like, this ain't right. I deserve better. I put out better. I'm a better person in this. Right now, my character and my pay grade don't match. My character is up here, but your pay is down here. We saw the team come together and look out for LYMG family in real life. Like the people on this chat right here, y'all looked out for people in real life. Y'all help a family get situated in real life. Your character is here. Where they're paying you is right here. But it's up to you to fill that up. It's up to us to be able to communicate and create and fill that up. So if I know this right here, and this is the honest truth, if I know that we gets further than me, why would I ever design a life where it's just all about me, my feelings, how I feel, and what I'm on at the time? If I know that, then the thing becomes, okay, I need to get around other good people, and I need to get around people who know things. I need to get around people with experience. And so, and people who I feel comfortable talking to so that we can strategize and grow together. That's all it is. So now you got to get that me mindset out the way. There is no stupid thing. So I challenge everybody right here. I see people in the chat. If you haven't asked a question in the chat, go ahead and ask one this week. If it's been a while since you asked a question, go ahead and ask one this week and just watch. If you know that you taking trades outside of what we're doing and those trades haven't been working, instead of feeling embarrassed, like, man, I don't want to say nothing because you already know, like, I don't want to say because then they gonna know what I go ahead and be like, yo, hey, I took a couple L's or NZDJPY and I was wondering why. We're going to give you the answer to the test. We're going to look at it and go, all right, let's see what you were doing. What did you think you saw right here? And meanwhile, while that conversation is happening, somebody like Chris is on. Chris German is on. He's learning. Somebody like Dex is there learning. Kareem learning. Trail learning. Now everybody benefits just because one person was able to put me aside and realize that we is going to help you. We is going to help you go further. All right. We is going to help you go further. They say if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. That's a partial truth. If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to get there the fastest, go together too. Go together too. If you want to get there fast, go alone. If you want to get there the fastest, go together. Think about it. Think about it. All right. Now, if I want to go somewhere, let's say I hop in my car and go, right? I get there fast. I ain't got to wait, pick nobody up. But you know who I'm going to be? Let's say that we all start in Charlotte or somewhere in Carolina and we're driving to California, right? If I want to go there alone, I can hop in my car and go, right? But if I want to get there the fastest, guess what? I'm going to hop on a plane and somebody going to fly me there. We went there together. So it actually helps to get there faster and further if you stick together and do it together. And that's what we need to do. I don't want nobody to feel ashamed about anything. All right. Ask a question because if it takes you a year to get this right, that's changing the next 10. I'm willing to risk that every time. That risk to reward is crazy. If 1 year of my life is going to get the next 10 years right, give me that. Give me that every single time. Every single time. So don't be afraid to try. We know the people on here are not afraid to try. And don't be surprised when failure comes along. Now we know that. Now we get ready for the next part. And here's what our culture is missing: to analyze and adjust. We try, we fail, we complain, and then we don't want to try anymore. We try, fail, complain, get discouraged, don't try. Then you got to get encouraged back up just to start again from square one. But if you try and fail and turn failure into momentum, because now you analyze the failure and you see, oh, this is why I failed, y'all. This is why I failed. This is why I keep getting stopped out. This is why I kept losing that trade. Was anybody else da-da-da-da? If you analyze and then have the nerve to communicate your analysis too, oh, you're a bad mug. And not only are you a bad mug, but now you don't help other people become more successful as well. Like you a real leader out here. And then we just try, we fail, we analyze, adjust. Okay, what do we need to analyze? What are we analyzing? We analyzing the failure. And then what are we adjusting? We adjusting so that we fail less. And then guess what? We're going to get better, but now it's like increment by increment, increment by increment. So don't allow yourself. I know some people on here are funded, some people are paid out, some people, you see them posting $1,000 days and all of that stuff. That's cool, right? Man, we with all of that, we support that, but don't allow that to discourage you. Don't allow that to speed you up. Don't allow that to get you to over leverage. Because what you start doing when you over leverage, you start, especially when it starts working, you start lifting, right? It's like you lifting more, but with the wrong form. So you're getting false confidence. Like you lifting and you lifting heavier weights, but you're gonna tear your rotator cuff eventually. Or you're gonna rip your elbow. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna tear your quad, tear your tricep, you're gonna tear a hamstring. All right. You don't want to start building bad muscle memory. So we don't want to get to the point where, hey, I passed phase one, I passed phase one, I passed phase one, I passed phase two. Oh, all right, how was your payout looking this month? Oh, I didn't get it. Why? Because I over leveraged. Why are you over leveraged? Man, I'm gonna do better next time. No. Why'd you over leverage? Think about it. Your lady wants to go on that trip. She keeps showing you that thing. The rent is due. The bills are coming up. And you over leverage for a good reason, right? Principle wise, it was a good reason to over leverage, but you allow the personal come in and take you off your strategy. You allow the person to come in and affect you. So now, if this was just a machine and we were just looking at analysis and stats, the machine would go, hey, it stopped following the strategy from here to here. It wouldn't care why it was, what the reason was, or whatever. It would just look and say it was sticking to one thing, and then it stopped doing that one thing, and it started doing something else. So we're getting all the way to the decision making. You didn't over leverage because you're a bad person. You didn't over leverage because you're stupid. You didn't over leverage because trading wasn't for you. You over leverage because you were a good person. You want to do more for yourself. You want to do more for your family. And you thought going about it this way was the best way to go about it. However, it was not. So now you understand and have the outlook. Trading, I'm thinking of trading from a year out on. That's going to stop that. From the decision making standpoint, now you have a garter, you have a fence built around your decision making, and that's going to help you infinitely. Watch what I say. It's going to help you infinitely. Um, you mentioned that there are 4 ways to add value, with communication and creation being 2 of those ways. What are the other 2? The other 2 are what we do every day for work. But communication and creation are the highest. Communication and creation um, are how we actually create wealth. That's the key. Communication and creation is how we create wealth. The other 2 ways are what you do at work. Is implementation and unification. Implementation is, I got a job, I do it. I have to use my muscles, I have to implement my arms, my legs to do this job correctly. Unification is when you're a manager and you manage other people who implement. That's it. So I'm either one moving the crates and the carts and the buggies, or I'm the manager that's telling the people to move the crates, the carts, the buggies, right? And so what happens is, oftentimes we take that mentality into investing, and that's the worst thing to do, because we're here to create wealth, right? We're here to create wealth. What good? Okay, you took an account from $20 to, even if you took an account from $20 to 5,000, is that enough to create wealth? No. So we want to think long term, right? You taking an account from $20 to 5,000 is implementing and unifying, right? Yeah, you ran up some trades, but guess what? You didn't communicate, or you didn't create wealth. Somebody else can't go like, oh yeah, I'm benefiting off of this forever because my dad or my mom or my grandfather was able to do this and create this system. And so now I'm good because he made so much money back then and he created a wealth system to where every time he got paid, he paid his grandchildren that he ain't have yet. Then he paid his children. Then he paid his spouse, and then he paid himself. That's a That's a bar. I hope somebody just got that. I hope somebody, oof, that's a bar right there. We got to clip that one up. Every time that's a system, right? That's a system that you create right there. I'm gonna pay my grandchildren this percent every time, even if you don't have grandchildren yet. You might not even have kids yet. I'm gonna give my grandchildren this percent. This account goes for my grandchildren, right? And you have to believe in yourself at such a high level to be able to take that real type of action. That's the key. Bump all the strategies. You have to actually have enough faith to go ahead and put that in motion. You got to have enough faith to put that in motion. Because I can give you the strategy all day, but every time you get paid, every time you get a payout, pay your grandchild that you ain't got yet. Pay your children that you may or may not have yet. Put some in account for them. Pay your spouse, then pay you. What that's going to help you do is realize that, yo, that $1,000 profit screen that I'm tripping over, that I'm about to waste my whole account over because I saw Trail post $1,000 profit screen. That dumb decision I'm about to make because I saw $1,000 profit screen. That dumb decision I'm about to make because I saw a $3,000 profit screen. How much is that really in the grand scheme of things in terms of what I want to do? How much is that really? Because I'm so stuck in a moment. I'm so stuck at right now. My bank account got $27 in it. I'm so stuck at the bills are due in 4 days that I want to hurry up and get it. So I start making bad decisions because now the stress is in my brain. So now the stress gets in your brain, your blood starts pumping more cortisol, the thing that creates stress, and now you're making bad decisions. Your brain actually starts shrinking because it's trying to hide. It's like, yeah, no, what are you doing? That's what happens. All right. That's what happens. So Try that. Every time you get paid out from here, like we gonna talk and we gonna move with so much faith. We gonna start talking about the payouts while you still on demo. Every time you get paid out, pay your grandchildren, then pay your children, then pay your spouse, then pay yourself. Leaders eat last, right? Leaders eat last. And then you're going to realize, okay, this is how far a $5,000 payout goes. This is how far a $6,000 payout goes. I want 50. And it could be, hey, I want to pay myself more. So guess what? I got to pay them first. I got to make sure they straight, right? So now I want to pay myself more. So hey, I need to 2x this thing. I need to 3x this thing. I need to do whatever, but I need to pay myself more. And then just watch. Because now when you start thinking about we, you get we sized ideas. So all we're trying to do is spark your mind to think we instead of I. You're going to start getting blessed with we sized ideas, we sized communications. We is bigger than I. And then when you do that, don't forget about the LYMG family and let's communicate. Let's communicate. When you start getting those we type ideas, when you start getting the we understanding of trading, communicate. When you have a question, when I have a question, understand that me posting that question in the chat allows for we to all benefit, all of us to benefit. I say it every week. You all basically, you all are getting value from Kareem's questions, Trail's questions, Dex's questions, KJ's questions. It's the same people who ask the questions, and it's the same people who post the nice profit screens. All right. So this week, let's get it. Let's communicate. Let's create. Focus on those two. Jet. We got Jet Gray who asked that question. Focus on those two: communication and creation. All right. So 2 challenges this week. If you haven't asked a question yet, ask a question in the chat. Right. If you haven't asked a question yet, ask a question in the chat. Number two, let's get funded. Let's do this together. Don't look at this just like, oh yeah, Cap said we was all gonna get. And no, we are on it. Let's communicate so that we can get funded. So think now, start creating in your mind. Ask yourself this question in reality and have enough faith to really do it. What can I do to help us all get funded? How can I contribute to that? That's it. That's what I'm asking right there. How can I contribute to that? Right there. Every single person in this group, you're able to contribute to that. You are. Trust me, because it's beyond signals. Ask Demetrius. Shout out to Demetrius. He's one of my favorite members because he's so real. He's so real. Demetrius got all the answers to the test, right? Got funded faster than anybody in history. And then, bam. When he got that live funded and made a mistake, it was because he got funded through over leveraging. When he got funded in real life, he wasn't able to get that payout at first. But now he has the wisdom to go forward. He has the wisdom to go forward. So when he knows what I mean when I say it's just not all about signals. It's about your mindset. Kareem said it great too. The tools are here, but it's also about who is using the tools, right? It's about who is using the tools. So if the person with the right mindset is using the right tools, that's when you start seeing success. We're going to get your success. We're going to get your mindset right. And then we're going to get these trades right too. But let's communicate. Let's create. What's the risk of not communicating? I'm going to stay where I'm at. I'm going to be frustrated. I'm going to be mad. I'm going to take that out on my partner, on my girl. I'm going to be frustrated with my boss. I'm going to be frustrated with my life. All because I didn't want to communicate because I was nervous. What's the reward of communicating? My spouse happier, my house happier, food quality is better. I got more time on my hand. I was able to get back 40 hours that they were taking from me for a week. I'm able to get back 40 hours per week. And if I multiply that by 50, which is the amount of weeks that people usually work, right? 50, let's say you get 2 weeks of vacation. Matter of fact, let's just multiply it by 30. That's a little over half the year. When I get this thing right, I take this 18 months, get this trading thing right. I now get back at least 1,200 hours per year. And you ain't realize how much free time that is. 1,200 hours per year. I start exercising like I want to. I start now. Now I'm selling you because I need you to believe it. I need you to believe in you. I'm selling you on a reason to communicate. I'm selling you on the idea of that better version of you that you see. Now I got the time to exercise. Now I got the energy to exercise. Now I ain't got to pay. Now if I want to pay a babysitter, it's because I want to pay a babysitter. Even your language is different. I want to pay a babysitter. Now I don't have to pay a babysitter. Now I can spend more time with my child and don't just put the tablet in their face because I'm tired. Think about that. Our family gets the chitlins of our energy. That means the leftover, the crap that's left over. Our family gets the chitlins of our energy. We wake up, we go to work, we give the best, and if the supervisor's there, the regional director there, the whoever's there, they're going to get the best of our energy, the most professional part of our energy. And then by the time we make it home to our family, we're like, oh, hey, why didn't you cook? I've been working all day. You talk about why didn't you clean it? Oh, I've been working all day because I would have. Hey, why you so sure? I've been working all day. All I want to do is that's the chitlins. And your family deserves better than that. You deserve better than that. All right. So let's get it. Let's communicate, create. It ain't no other option. There's no other option. Don't talk yourself out of it. Don't try to find a reason not to do it. All right. So takeaways. Look at trading a year from now, right? I'm gonna take a year to get this right. How long? And then look at the risk to reward. 1 year is going to impact 10 years of my life. So that means we put in 2, 20, 3, 30. Let's get that right. That's the math from here on out. All right. It's going to compound. It's going to compound, compound, compound. From there, communicate, create. Start thinking we over me because when you think we over me, you're going to get we size ideas. You're going to get we size questions. And then create the time to go ahead and communicate. All right. If we have any questions, go ahead and type them in the chat. Let's get it this week. 80% win percentage. That's what we're going for from here on out. And I want some people to, when I post a signal, let me know if you can see the confirmations as well. Like, oh, I see what you want. Like that just feels good too. Because number one, it lets me know what you're learning. Number two, lets me know that, all right, we're on to something. All right. This is a good signal. So I just challenge some people to be like, yeah, I see why we're doing this. And if you don't see why we're doing this, say that too. Say that too. All right. Let's get it. Let's see. Any questions? All right. If you have any questions, hit me up. For everybody who isn't part of LYMG family yet, tap in with us. Tap in with us. You won't regret it. All right. You will not regret it. We've been on here for about an hour, so we're good. Love y'all. Let's get it. Let's have an excellent week. Excellent week. Excellent week. All right. All right. Peace.